Hello everyone, it is April 14th and I'm going to do a video on using transfers, underglaze transfers over underglaze. I always say, I don't know why that's always so hard for me to say. I kind of did that the last time a little bit with little pieces of it for my bowl, which I just put the clear glaze on if you saw the last video. But this is going to be a whole set. This is like a whole sheet, I should say. So, but yeah, so I have a platter here. And this is over bisqueware. So I made a platter from a mold. From a slump mold. Let me lower you down just a little bit. So this is bisqueware. It is B-Mix 5 with grog. The grog is just easier for me to throw with, and because I hand build and throw with the same clay. I have a small in-house studio, so I don't have a lot of room to like I've got some dark glaze here also, some dark clay, but I'm going to try to just stick to one color clay. It's a lot easier. But anyway, so this is B-Mix 5 with grog. And it's been fired to cone, I think it fired this to cone 04, 05. And so we're going to put underglaze on here and then the transfer over the top. And then I will put a clear on it and then I will fire it. And again, I will add the picture. I brought a whole bunch of stuff home that needs to be glazed from where I teach. So I will have some videos coming up here, and then I will have enough to do a kiln, and then I will add the photos back to the video here. So depending on when you watch the video, you may not see the end results right away. I know people are like, they don't like that. But I just don't have that big of a studio where I fire. And, the one thing is I have a big kiln, like a school-sized kiln. It's like 26, 27 wide and like 3 feet tall, something like that. So I have a big kiln. And, and that's a good thing, when you've got a show coming up. But, buying a big kiln isn't always the best thing that I've realized, kind of, because if you aren't making a whole lot of pottery, you're not a production potter, you're not doing shows every week, every month, that's a lot to fill. And I used to do a lot of shows, but since I've hurt my knee and everything, it's been kind of rough doing shows. But anyway, so here's the platter, and I'm gonna lower you down. Lower the camera down, not lower you down. Of course, you're watching, so I guess you're lowered down. You'd be lowered down too, right? I know. Silly. But it's so good to be back making videos. It's been a while. So, I got my sponge here, and I'm going to sponge this off. Get it wet. Get that dust off. It is really... a lot of people always say, oh, how do you have dust on your pottery when you fire it? I don't know. But, when I fire here at the house or I fire it at the recreation center where I work, there's always dust. Especially, when I'm making my big fish and my pumpkins and things that stand up, I have newspaper stuffed in there. So obviously that creates a lot of dust. But sometimes there's a lot of dust. So unless it helps prevent crawling if you don't, if you get that dust off of there. And you don't want it to be too wet because then your underglazes don't adhere really well. So also, these are my underglazes. This is how I do it. A lot of people have asked me where I get these containers. When I first made these, I did a video, and I glued each one down. And I have a video of that. But someone's like, Lisa, why don't you just buy the containers that are not adjustable? they're sealed at the bottom already. And I didn't know they made those. So thanks to that person. But so yeah. So these are all Amaco Velvet Underglazes. Those are the ones I like. I do have some Speedball, which you know, are fine too. I don't have anything against Speedball, obviously. I've had a few of them stick to the bottom of the kiln. That's why I, you know, kind of went to all Amaco Velvet Underglazes. But anything, you know, they'll both work fine. But I like to paint on the bottom of mine. So these some of these colors are custom made, so I don't have, you know, with underglazes you can mix them like acrylics or watercolor. Like this blue here. This is one that I made. I just took the royal blue from Speedball, mixed some white and a little bit of black with it, and that's how I came up with that. And the reason I put them in these trays is that I like them to dry out a little bit. So I've got some white in here, some white underglaze, and this blue. So I'm just going to kind of, I'm not going to mix it up all the way because I want some dark and light. I have to mix some more of this blue up. I'm almost out of this blue. And they do dry out a little bit, but that's they just become more concentrated, and I like that. If you have ever used Amaco's semi-moist underglazes, you know that they're very expensive. I'm going to add a little bit of green to this, just to the side, and you'll see what I'm going to do here in a minute. The semi-moist underglazes, I think, are pretty pricey. So this is really the same thing. All semi-moist underglazes are regular glazes dried out a little bit, so that they're more concentrated, more pigmented. And you know, and because they're more concentrated, you pay for that too. So I'm going to add a little bit of this green down here at the bottom. And this blue can get, because it has that royal blue, Speedball royal blue in it, it can get, when it's fired, bright, which I don't like. I don't like that really bright. So that's why I toned it down with some black. I'm going to put some of this green here at the bottom. I also like to, when I'm adding my underglazes, I like to make sure that there's still, you know, there's darks and lights, and it's not all one solid color. That's something you got to be careful of with underglazes. If you don't mix them, you know, if you want a solid color, that's fine. But I kind of like when there's, you know, the colors vary. There's darks and lights, and I was just going to say, I hope I can do this without waking up the girls. The kitty cats are sleeping here in front of me. They are 2 kittens that we bought. I guess it's been about 9 months ago now. And they are very curious. I woke up the other morning and there were sponges all over the house. They just love the sponges. I don't know why. I need to just buy, you know, some for them and let them play with it. Maybe they'll get bored after a while and not bother mine. Molly, the fluffy gray and white one, is sitting here looking at me. Anyway, I can feel my allergies. My allergies if you're in the Midwest and you have any allergies, well, I can always tell when it hasn't rained in a while and the allergies kick in. Okay, I don't think I want to add any more dark blue. I want to lighten it up a little bit. Let me add a little bit on the back before I rinse this brush out. Okay, let's see here. No, Molly. Oh, I don't know why I can't do one video without them being nosy. I didn't think cats liked water, but they seem to be awfully curious about water too. Okay, so when you're glazing, if you have any bumps, you're not stealing my sponge, are you? Hey, move along, girl, move along. Hey, poi. No, you can't have the underglazes, no. I'm gonna just clean this up a little bit. But if you're applying underglaze and you have any chunks, I would suggest wait until it dries and then brush them off, because they will come through the, I should say, for me, they come through the underglaze or the clear glaze, and they make like a, I'm trying to put this in my name here. Hey, shoo. The underglaze chunks will come through the clear, and they'll make like a dull spot, like a dry spot, and you don't really want that, because that bacteria can get in that spot. And okay, so see, I just put my names there, so I just clean this up a little bit. Now on the front side, I am going to add a little bit of this white over here and just add a touch of blue to it. Just so I can add a little bit more of this white to the background. This is going to be the background for my underglaze transfer. And so that's why I wanted to add some of this blue. If you can see this. That's why I definitely don't want it all one color. Honey, what are you doing? Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of water, kind of blend it in a little bit better. I'm just going to add just a touch of green here at the bottom, because that's going to be the bottom of the underglaze transfer. Okay. Where'd my sponge go? There it is. my sponge, Molly. Yeah. Okay, and then I'm just going to smooth this down a little bit. Like I said, I want all these, any chunks of the underglaze. Not really on, I don't want them on here. Okay. Yeah, that's my sponge, it's not yours. Okay, now I'm gonna let this dry. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside and do one more while that one's drying. Let's make sure we sponge this off first. These are a little on the rough side. I made these at where I work, and sometimes it's hard to stay on top of keeping them flat. You know, when you're making platters or plates, you have to really baby them a lot and make sure they, once you take them, even when they're in the mold, you need to put sandbags in there, or bags with, you know, any kind of weight. A lot of people use sand or beans or something in stockings and keep them weighed down. And sometimes class gets kind of hectic and I forget, and then they warp up a little bit. Okay, let's see. Let's get I need to get some more of this blue. Oh, hey, what are you doing, Molly? Molly, come on. I know. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Okay, there we go. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more water to this. There we go. These mop brushes from Amaco are super nice for clear glaze. That's all I use for my clear glaze is these Amaco number 8 soft fan brushes. These are really nice and thick. They don't work quite as well though for the underglazes, because the underglazes are too dry. So here's my lid that I'm mixing. Hope I have enough to finish this one. I'm going to have to make more of that color. It's really nice here where I live in Cincinnati. The weather is, of course, it's kind of cloudy today, but it feels like spring is here. It was 80 degrees yesterday, and I bought some flowers and planted some flowers and bushes out in the garden, and I know I'll probably be sorry, because we can have snow all through April. You just never know. But I'm one of those where as soon as I can get outside and start planting flowers, that's where I am at. I'm trying to get all these edges. Underglazes are so nice because you pretty much, you get instant gratification, because pretty much what you see is what you get. And they don't run, which is nice. And I love to paint with watercolors, so This is about the closest thing you can get to watercolors. You know, with ceramics. I'm going to add a touch of water so the underglazes blend a little bit more. And you don't really need, a lot of people will ask me if, do you need 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats? And it's, with 3 coats, you're pretty much guaranteed you're going to get the color you want and it's not going to burn out. But I don't count coats because some things have, when you're painting like a watercolor painting, you're trying to blend colors and things, you really don't, you're not counting coats. So with mine, yes, some do burn out. Some don't. But that's okay. I think that looks pretty good. I definitely want some variation because I know the Underglaze transfer, I should have showed it to you a little bit longer, I guess. It's that one with the white birch trees with the red birds in it. It came from Sandbow Studios, which their email address is, or their website's like China Clay Art, I believe. Okay. So this one looks a little darker than the other one, but that's okay. Oh, I wanted to add a little bit of green too to the bottom of this one. Okay. So I'm going to set this one aside. So one thing I did want to say about this tray again, I meant to say, and I don't think I did, is so if you're going to order these off of Amazon, make sure you look up the one with unadjustable dividers. That seems to be the key word, unadjustable dividers. Okay, now here is my transfer. And see, you can see it is, I'm going to close this up. It's the one with the birds, the white birch trees. You can kind of, so I just get the big sheets, and I think they all come this way though. So I'm going to lay this on here. Okay, now I'm gonna get my sponge, and it's pretty damp on this first go around, okay? Because I want this to stick. And I want to, whoopsie daisy. Okay, and then I'm going to sponge this out because you really don't want too much water. But you got to activate the underglaze that's on these transfers. And you'll know that it's wet enough when you can see through and you don't see all the you don't see the color of the transfer paper, when it looks translucent, basically. Okay. barking dog again. Hi, Molly. I mean, that's Millie. Hi, Millie. So you don't want to smear. You don't want to be going like this, because you will smear them. I know some people take a rib to them. Like you can go, I can go like this a little bit here. These don't seem to smear as much. Sometimes when you have the black ones, they really smear. Gotta be, it seems like you gotta be more careful with those. Add a little bit more water. And it's important that your underglaze is dry underneath, because otherwise you'll pull it up off of your bowl. I'm just going to kind of keep going over this till I know that's pretty well saturated and that everything is, stuck down. Millie, they can't see when you're there. I'm going to cut off this excess, because I can use that again. I cannot use what I've put on here, obviously, because there's no underglaze left on there. There we go. Yeah, I can use that on something. Even this one, I can use this little red bird. I'm kind of frugal now. I don't like to waste anything. So let's gently pull this off and see if it's, oh yeah, it looks good. I did this once before on a dark clay platter, and I did smear it a little bit, so that's why I am cautious about not smearing it, but it looks pretty good. My red bird here looks like it's smeared a little bit, but I can clean that up. There we go. Put that in the garbage, and there you go. I think that's going to look really neat. Let me put it close up. Oh yeah, I like that. And like I said, I will, when this dries, I will put the clear, a zinc-free clear, right over the top. And I will, I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to do the other one I painted. So you can see it again. Come on, Molly. Let's do another one. Again, so this is what it looks like beforehand. Not too exciting, right? So you can see the little bit of green at the bottom, which is going to show at the bottom of the underglaze. And like I said, these came from Sandbow Studios. China Clay Art, I believe .com is their website. And I'm just going to lay this over the top. Oh, I wanted to show you before I forget. This is what I've been using. Amaco's Mako Stoneware Zinc Free Clear. SW004. I use that one. And then I also use this one I love. This is a Amaco's HF9. I've never had these cloud up. It says Sahara Liquid Underglaze, but it's basically Amaco's. Just always ask for the Zinc Free Clear HF9. There you go. You can see the HF9 right there. So those two are the ones I've been using lately. And you can buy that Amaco's, you can buy that in a gallon size. You're standing on my transfer there, Missy. Okay, let's do another one. I'm going to wet this. Like I said, I do wet it pretty good at first, okay? And then I'm just going to dab this on here. Just to get it to stick. And I wouldn't worry about the creases too much because you're really not going to show them up. They're not really going to show up too much. Just as long as, you know, your trees are still going straight. It's kind of funny now that it's been warming up, we have our windows open. And Molly here, she likes to sit on the windowsill and just, oh my gosh, she looks at watches those birdies outside. She doesn't miss a trick with them. And we just put our hummingbird feeders out yesterday. They said that the hummingbirds are getting close to Cincinnati. Trying to help. You trying to help? And so I don't know what the hummingbirds are going to think of her sitting on a windowsill staring at them. I may have to move the hummingbird. Oh, that one's... So I can tell that's going to smear a little bit. I'm going to leave that go right there. I put a little bit too much water there. You really can't tell too much though with the way I've got the blue and the white kind of streaky. Oh, that's okay. I did a little boo-boo here and I'll show you. I did a boo-boo. I guess it's a good thing I did it on camera because now you guys can see how to fix it. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so I've got, let me cut this off. Yeah, like I said, some people use ribs and they go over with a rib, but I don't suggest that. I have had it. Move your paw or you're gonna be missing a toe. I've had them smear when I do that. I just use a sponge and just dab at it, and it works really well for me. Okay, let's get this off of here. And so what I did was when I put this transfer on, I wasn't paying attention, and I put it, see, there's a line, you can see that line there. I don't like that, so I'm going to put some transfer over that. Let's see if it's adhered yet. Yeah, it looks like it. Molly, pooey, get out of here. You don't need my sponge. Come on. She's trying to steal my sponge. Hey. I know. Quit whining. Yeah, quit whining. Come on. I'm going to go over there. Here. Shh. Go right there. All right, let's see here. Let's pull the rest of this off. Okay, so remember I saved some of those bottoms, those corners. So what I'm going to do is, I find my sponge. I don't think she stole it. No, there we go. There we go. And I'm just going to line this up on the bottom here. Kind of lines up with the trees, but I'm only going to dab the bottom part. Whoops. There we go. I don't think that's any good anymore. Let's get rid of this piece here. I got another piece over here I'm going to put on here. Just kind of line it up with the bottom. And then I got a piece here. So it's hey, Millie, they can't see. Come on. Alrighty, let's pull this off here. Oh, you girls are so... Hey, that's your Heiny. You're standing on my platter. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to clean up this bottom because I do not want to see... Just take my finger. I don't want you to see I don't want the creases to show... Or not the creases. I don't want the edges to show of the... There we go. Okay. Yeah, so here's this one. And, so, I think that's going to turn out really pretty. You can kind of see how I got the green at the bottom, just to kind of give it some different colors, a little bit more white at the top. You like that, Millie, huh? Yeah, so I think that'll turn out pretty. So, let's set that one aside, and I'll show you real quick how I underglaze these, or how I clear them. I can't even think straight with these cats walking all over the place. They're stepping on stuff, and so this, normally I would let these dry a little bit more, but since we're doing a video. Okay, now when I get my underglaze, gosh, say it right, Lisa. When I get my clear glaze, I always add a little bit of water to it. Because I don't like it to go on too thick. And by thinning it down, like I probably add, when I first get this, I probably add 2 tablespoons of water to this. And then as it gets down lower, I'll add another couple tablespoons of water. So I probably end up adding almost 1/8 cup of water to this. But it just helps it go on really smooth. And I'll do 2 coats of this. Now my first coat goes on pretty liberally. So, it technically could be considered 2 coats. Because you do not want to press down. Okay, you just are gliding it on. And one of the ways to do that is just to make sure you have a lot of glaze on your brush to begin with. And that's why I like these mop fan brushes from, look how much glaze it holds. Okay, I'm going to flip that over very gently. I'm going to hold that in here. I'm going to go. Now see how I'm swishing it in? See, I've got a lot of glazing on there. It's dripping off. Because when I put this on here, I just want to go over it one time. I don't want to have to go back over. Now the second coat, I'll be more careful. One thing I have noticed though with some of these is that the white on this transfer, the white underglaze is resisting the clear. So, but it won't on the second round. I just kind of gently, like, don't smear, just add more clear. Just add more clear glaze. There we go. Normally I don't even go over this many times. I let the first one dry, but that clear glaze on the clear underglaze, oh gosh, the white underglaze. I can't even talk today. The white underglaze on the transfer is really wanting to resist the clear glaze. So hard to talk when you're getting distracted by outside elements. All the kitty cats have left. They're probably up on the windowsill looking for birds. I don't let my cats outside though, so the birdies are safe. Okay, so that's the first coat. I will let this dry completely before I put the second coat on. And you can tell already there's no smearing. You can see how, the trees are pretty much still defined. So, and even this one, it's got some little tiny bubbles in it. I don't know if you can see them or not. So I'll wait till this is dry and take my finger and go over and just smear those bubbles down. And then I'll put another second coat on. Let me set this back here. I have to be careful where I set stuff too now, because curious little cats want to walk on them. Okay, let's go ahead and put this coat on. Get as much on here as I can on this brush. And I will fire these to cone 5 with, I'll probably do a 10-minute hold. The holds really help if you have any pinholes. They help prevent against the pinholes because it allows the glaze to heal over from the organic gases that are coming out of the clay during the firing. If your kiln is getting the temperature and then it automatically shuts off and starts the cooling process. Sometimes if there's a lot of organic gases in your clay and they haven't come out through the glaze all the way, they'll leave little pinholes, and then you have to refire. And sometimes, if people put glaze on too thick, you can get the pinholes because the glaze is so thick, the bubbles cannot get all the way out, and the glaze is just so thick, it cannot heal over by the time the cooling process starts. There's really, there's a lot of reasons for pinholes on glazes, but that's the more common cause, is that the glaze is too thick, and you just need to add a hold at the end of your firing process. Just keep the kiln up at that temperature until the glazes can settle down and heal over the bubbles, the little craters. Alright, so that is all for this video. I hope you enjoy. Like I said, when this dries, I'm going to add another coat on there. I'm going to dry this over there where the kitty cats can't get to them. And I hope you enjoyed that video. I've got another one coming up where I'm going to do one of these bowls. Yeah, I can't wait to do that one. Oh, and I got a, let me real quick. I got a thing in the mail. Yay! This is Plum Island transfers. Let's see what's in here. Let's lower you down. I almost forgot. Oh, wow. Let me get my scissors out. That's really on there tight. Gotta make sure I'm not cutting any of my transfers. Hope everybody's doing well. I did want to mention too, this is, well, if you're watching this video and you know, soon after I made it, like I said, it's April 14th, 2023. I was going to be in an art show, the West Side Market Art Show on May 6th, but I am not anymore because I kind of re-injured my knee, and I just don't think I'm going to be able to load up, you know, 15 heavy crates and unload them and put the tent up and all that stuff with my bad knee. So I'm pretty bummed about it. So I have all these, I have so much pottery. I'm going to try and just do something at my house. I'm going to have a big sale, mark everything that was I made, you know, last year. I'm going to mark it like 50% off. If you live around Cincinnati, that is what I'm going to do, because I've got to lower my inventory. I just don't have the room to store it all. Okay, so let's look at these. So like I said, these came from Plum Island Transfers. And here is their, I know it's backwards, so you'll have to read it backwards. Plum Island Transfers. So what's fun is that they do these sheets with the words. So remember I did a bowl? Did you guys see the bowl I did last time? I have not fired it yet, but you'll see it when it's fired. I promise I will show it to you. But you can cut these words out and put them on your bowls. I love those. So let's see what else they got here. Oh, they sent me this for free. They always send you little samples. Look at the wood one. Isn't that neat? So I got a couple of, well, let's see. I got a lot of them. Gosh, I spent a fortune. I got 3 sheets of these words. But they're, you know, I wonder if I look at them backwards, you guys can see them frontwards. I don't know. But yeah, really nice. All different writing and stuff. A really nice, nice words to put on there. So then there's this one too, which I plan on cutting this one out in pieces to put on mugs and bowls and things. So I don't plan on using this as one sheet. I'd like to try that one. Oh, this one is the brick one. So I wanted to try this brick. I thought that would be fun. Maybe paint underglaze underneath and the browns and reds and different colors, and then just put this over the top to try it. So, but what I'm going to do, I think, with this, you just tear out sections so it looks like the brick has torn away from the drywall or whatever. I've seen people do that. Isaac Shoe, gosh, he does gorgeous mugs if you've seen any of his stuff. Oh, this one looks like, oh, this one looks like a lot of fun. This one's got bugs and moths, and I ordered, gosh, 1, 2, 3, oh goodness, 4, oh my gosh, 5, oh my gosh, how many did I order? 6? Oh gosh, I ordered a ton of these things. I love the writing, and I love the butterflies, so I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this. Look at that one. Look at, there's butterflies. I love the writing on there. I don't like the spiders, but I like the dragonflies and the moths and the butterflies, the bees. So, gosh, I ordered a ton of those. Yeah. Can you see that? I don't know if you can even see that. So, let's set those aside. Goodness sakes, I bought a ton of those. I don't know why I bought so many of one kind. Well, because I like them. Oh, and this one looks, oh, I wish I bought more of this one. Oh, wow, look at that one. Oh, I love that one. I may have to, that reminds me, these remind me of Katie Miller. I think she makes her own, or maybe she, I don't know if she designed these. I know she was designing them for somebody. But yeah, isn't that going to be fun? So I'll cut these out too. I won't use the whole sheet on one piece, although you could. I will probably, yeah, I will cut these out individually and put them on mugs and bowls, like my graffiti stuff. So anyway, just had to share that with you. It's always fun to get that stuff in the mail, isn't it? So I guess I got a lot of work ahead of me. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, please subscribe. Hit the button and subscribe. It helps me with all that algorithm stuff, you know. Anyway, have a great day, and thanks for watching. And there's more videos to come, I promise. And if you have any questions, comments, please put them in the box below. And for some reason, I don't get notified that people comment anymore, but I do check it. So, and then all of a sudden I'll see there's 5 and think, oh my God, there's 5 people. And then I answer you back. I try. So thanks for watching.